everyone, this is Jurgita of Magic Punk Crafts and welcome to September. New month, today is September 1st, so it's the first month of fall, and in Lithuania there's first day of school in the whole country, so hope that the students learn a lot, that they'll be safe and get good knowledge, and the weather should not be too bad. So no, like I said, it's September, so let's put aside the organizer calendar, and I want to start with also September-ish kind of colors again with my Astra pattern, Spoiled Child. And like you know that I need to do minimum every month if I want to finish the row again until the end of the year, and I'm so far a little bit ahead of time. So it's good in case at the end of the year I don't have a lot of time to stitch on that. So this is what it looks like right now, the row. And as you can see, this part is the right here that it starts. So the next part I'm gonna stitch, and I need to do about 3,700 good stitches, and it's gonna be just like a little bit of that. So there's nothing very interesting is gonna be happening. The bottom is gonna be just like here, so a lot of wall again, but after that, next few months is gonna be more interesting stuff. So this is where I'm gonna be starting. By the way, if you just stumbled upon my channel, welcome. I keep forgetting to say that. And I hope you'll stick around and see various projects that I'm planning to stitch this month. So far, I planned to work on about 8 of them, and none of them are new. I might throw in some little one this month. I'm not sure yet, but at least the 8th I'm hoping to touch and progress a little bit better. And if you're a returning viewer, especially subscriber, thank you for sticking up with me, and I guess you enjoy my projects, and can't wait to see how much more it's gonna grow. So I hope you keep enjoying that, and let's see how well this goes. So this is what you see, and I guess in a second you'll see some more stitched. And here I just wanted to quickly, briefly stop by and show what I did about the first part. So I've done about 2,000 stitches in here. So as you can see, just there was a lot of background again once I've done this part in here, and the rest of the stick is gonna go there. So that's why it's a lot of threads hanging in there of those colors. So that's what it looks like now, and I'm ready to go into the next part. So it's gonna be again about 2,000 stitches, and it's gonna be more of the background, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of still singles in there, but probably not as many in one area like I had in those areas here of different colors. So let's see how it looks after another couple thousand. And after intense stitching here where we are right now, so I stitch again a little bit more than I needed to, but once I started like this area and the day was not over, I just started kind of filling more spots, and you can see the stick here, at least the bottom portion is all done. So there was a lot of the wall in there, and it's gonna be a little bit more wall in here. So if you see on the picture, there's gonna be that. So the line goes pretty much like this way, and there's gonna be a lot of darkness with those onions or something like that hanging in here. So that's what I'm gonna do in the month of October. So far is going all great, and I'm sure once I get in this bottom portion of the whole painting is gonna be way more confetti etc. So but I'm very eager to see how it all turns out. So this year we'll see most of her face, but I can't imagine what this whole area is gonna look like. It's not gonna be as easy as like a piece of furniture or the whole wall, but we'll see. And by my calculations, if I continue 2 rows per year, there will be 3 more years to do, so that would make about 6 years from a start. But like I said, in very beginning I was touching it very little, so I think like over 3,700 stitches a month is what I mostly can concentrate in the 3 years, because I don't want to leave all other whips kind of sitting aside. So but anyway, this is what I've done in September month, and I'm gonna set it aside because my other whips are calling me. And about that, I decided to pick it's another one of the three my monthly whips that I'm going to be working, and it's Coral Peonies by Dimensions Gold Collection. And right now I have just under 30%, so I have practically 24,000 stitches left. And what funny thing was, I had to take it off my frame because I'll show you what happened. I was trying to take off the sides of this frame because I wanted to use the side tension rods, what do you call it, for something else, and actually I got my whole screw undone, so it just popped out of the whole side here. So I've decided to just take it the whole thing off, and I'm gonna put on one of my neck frames that I have right now waiting empty. So I have to get this all done, and it's not a lot of fabric on the top, so I'll be adding a little bit fabric to hold more tighter in the frame. But this is where I'm starting. So as you can see, I just grabbed one color and went down and down, and this is where the bottom is. So it's about halfway, like in here. And of course I did not reach the right side yet, but it's going to be all kinds of either bright reds and corals, or green and grays colors. So I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I'm slowly kind of going towards the right side, so we'll see how that goes. So this is what you see now, and we'll see what I can manage to do in a few days. Well, I think it's gonna be enough for this month. I just went past 2,000 stitches this month, so I think that's is gonna be a good amount. So as you see, there's some outlines already happening here. I did some back stitching, not all, but majority of the, like this area for the flowers is already done. So this is what you can see right now. Of course, the darker parts are a little bit seeing through, but nobody looks very up close. And right now, this area for me, it like looked very weird, but then when you look at the picture, it's gonna be covered with all that specialty stitches in here. So it is gonna be making more like a background depth in there. So I think like around this area is where the half point lengthwise is. So this is where it is, and of course, well, I won't be able to roll it until I'm finishing with this area. So that's where I'm gonna leave off these peonies, and decided to grab a next thing, which is a bit the darker colors and a bit a smaller count. So we're going from 14 to 16 count in here. And again, it's Allen and Rowan, patterned by Astra, and it's 250 wide by 325 tall, and I'm doing with CXC threads. I think at least that's what I wrote down. By the feel, it's like that. So if I want to finish this row, I have to do what, about 2,400? Yeah, almost 2,400 stitches per month right now until the end of the year. So with so few colors, I think that might be possible. So that's where I'm gonna concentrate, and I'm doing full stitches, not a half. And as you can see with the CXC or SHS, like others say, threads, even the black ones doing very well covering in that. So this is where I'm gonna start, and we're gonna see most of his face, I hope, the next time I'm turning my camera on. So stay tuned. Now you want to see something in here that you can't unsee. So I was just stitching around the nose, and I started putting in those threads, and if I can see it through camera, and I started thinking, oh my gosh, he's like sucking in the boogers, watch. And after that, it's just like ridiculous thing, and it comes back in, like it's coming back in, whoop. Anyway, this is like a partial stitching right now, so it's only one color left to fill in those bold spots, and then I'm gonna move in to the next area, but that's gonna happen tomorrow because it's time for me to go to bed. And the section that I wanted to finish, it's all done. So as you can see, his face is practically all done except the itty bitty on the chin in here. And I actually got the girls just the hair in there started, so I can't wait to see how her face is gonna turn out. But so far I'm loving it, and it was kind of hard to set aside again, like my typical projects usually are. I get sucked in and then I want to continue. But another project's been calling me for quite a few months, and I haven't stitched in a while for it. So I figured I might as well just grab it now before it's very late. And it's this one, Adam Eve Sampler by Teresa or Shakespeare's Peddler. So I'm stitching that on 40 count, which is close to 42 after she dyed the fabric. No, that was picture this plus. So I'm doing that 1 over like 1/1 on the words, and over 1/2 on the main things. And this whip is about 290 by 390, and as you can see, this is the top portion right here, and that's where it is. So I started if I can remind you, I started like the very middle part, did the words, and kind of started going this way. So there's still a lot of that left, and it's gonna take me a while, so I need to get going because I think I started that, let's see my little list, in June of 2019. So I need to get going on this, or it's gonna become one of the oldest whips, very old whips, and I won't make it within a 5-year time zone. So I'm just gonna concentrate on going this way to the right and filling in all those little motifs. Usually it I could say that it works a bit longer on this because you have a few stitches here and you have to secure the thread and get another color, and with the full coverage you just go by the pattern and you stitch, and then towards the end you would have a lot of the same color left, because I go from a least amount of colors in that section to the most. But here you have little thingies, and I want to carefully in the back secure all the threads so they don't like drag it across. So that takes a little bit longer, but I still love it, and can't wait to see how much I can progress right now. So that's where I'm starting now. And here we are 4 days later, and this second page almost all done. There's a little bit more left, like in here, finish up, and a little bit more on the bottom, but I've decided I put in a good amount of stitches already. So you see I went all the way to the right side, finished, and still have the fabric left. So yay, it looks so far so good. I love it. I wanted to stitch even longer, but I figured other projects are calling me too. So next time I think I'm gonna finish this area, and then I'll have to roll my frames, and it will be interesting to see all the words back again, because like I said, I started from the middle area and fill up there. So then it hopefully it will go faster, because I don't have to do like a half of that, but only like this portion in here, well, at least this part, and then I'll have to continue with the words. But this is where I am right now, and very excited. Been filling in all the parts that I can do, so this up to here, like pretty much all done. There's like one stitch left here because it's the same color as that, and I just do want to put in a couple stitches and secure the thread again right away. So like what I was doing is, like, for example, taking the main color, like these green stems with the leaves, and just going, and this way I can also have the frame like here of the bud, and then I could just grab the same color, for example this, and just go through the flowers. So that way I think it was going a little bit faster for me. So I'm gonna be putting this aside and stitching on something that's a little bit easier on the eyes, at least to rest for this. And let's see what I grabbed. And I grabbed Mirabilia's Dressmaker's Daughter because it's a fall month at least. So if you remember, I said I want to do one season per season, well, except a little bit of the bottoms that's left, that will be at the very end of in the next year, when I have all 4 seasons stitched. This way I can enjoy all 4 dresses at the same time. So I did as a reminder, I've started slightly differently than what's an original. I have the summer dress in here, so I'm gonna be moving this at the very end, the winter. So I'm gonna my piece is gonna be from spring through the winter, and that's the way my daughter wanted, because this piece is for her. And again, I've done all of my beads on the summertime, except those like a few holes that you see in here, which are like a treasures. So the next dress that I'm gonna be working on is gonna be this one. I love the colors. Too bad it's Mid-Autumn Festival kind of I think it just ended, or how is that start, or something like that. I haven't checked yet, but beautiful colors. And of course the background again is going to be kind of monotonous stitch just like over here, but that's fine. What I calculated up to like this point, if I stitch all of that, I need each month to do like 3,300 stitches, and that includes back stitching and beads. So that probably gonna be at the end of a fall, because right now it's a main stitching. So I'm gonna start in here and try to put in those 3,300 stitches. I'll see you then. And some days later, my goal for this month is done. It actually went that super fast, because the majority there were only like 2 colors to stitch at this time, because smaller ones it's too hard to count like where it's gonna be, somewhere here or stuff. So I was just filling in the main spots, and then those little ones it's much easier to see where to go. So as you see, the background color is, like I said, is just 1 color, but I started to put in these like leaves, and it's actually silk threads, very very variegated. It's all came from one not a spool, but one skein. So you can see how differentiates from like a greenish to like a burgundy color, all those threads. So there's gonna be the flower like buds or berries, maybe I should say berries, in those spots too. So that's like done. And then I picked 1 color for the dress form and just went down as far as I could, and it was a little bit too hard to stitch in there. So there's gonna be a little bit more of the dress going down, so that one is a bit longer than the summer one. So this is where I'm gonna stop for this month. I I did a tiny bit more because, like I said, it was going very fast, like with those few colors in here, and so that's like a three different colors. So I've decided to leave it for next few months, and let me see what I picked for you to see next. And the next is my raindrops on eyelashes, and I'm stitching this on a 25 count easy grid. The pattern is 350 by 350, so it's not exactly, as you can see, black and white. It has 53 pure and 7 blends from a thread colors, and I've decided to do that on a half stitch, but not a typical like what I do the first leg, but the second one. So it would be like a top leg going this way. So I have to again rewire my brain doing this way, because I figured the rain, you can see raindrops coming from top left to the right bottom. So if I was doing stitches only this way, I think it would go against the flow. I don't know how it will look on the whole face and outfit, but this is what I have so far. That's a very small but amount, but like I said, it's as a background, it's not that many stitch mixes, and we'll see how it goes. I want to do at least 1500 for it this month, so we'll see. It's been, I think, since May maybe, or even March, since I last touched this, so it's way past overdue, and I want to put in some so we can at least reach perhaps the middle area. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll check it out for you in a second. And some days passed, and as you see, it already grew. I hope you still remember, because I don't remember exactly how many it was, but it was more than what I was counting for again, because I already, as you see, reached the outfit where the hair goes. So let's, can we see up a little bit more up close? So I think it's this area right here, and I already started this, so it kind of looked weird when I was stitching gray, and then suddenly like a black or something very dark blue shows up, and even some greenery. So we're gonna see more green colors in here, but I'm happy I reached past half point, and then I decided, okay, maybe that's enough for now. But you can see that the raindrops are falling like this way. So compared to what I printed out picture, it has more like a bluish darker gray tints, versus this has more like a lighter gray with the green tint. So it's gonna look different than my printed picture, because you know, printers don't always show correct colors too. So I'm very happy that I managed to push this a little bit more, the stitching, and then I decided I need to pull something that I haven't stitched since March. So can you, any of you remember? Probably not. And it's my chatelaine Baltic Sea mandala, my very first one. And if you remember, I decided to follow some examples and cover in plastic to protect it from constant dust, and the area right now is ready to be stitched in here. I finally got the needed silk thread that it was not included, I think, in original set that I bought, so finally was able to find it, and so I can continue stitching. So you see the middle part right here. I haven't done all the specialty stitches in here, but I was making mostly like a regular cross stitch parts in here, so I'm gonna just continue and hoping to put a nice dent in it. I did not do any beading either in here, so you see quite a few specialty stitches in there, gonna be like that. So this is where I'm gonna be spending quite a few days on right now, because I have, according to my plans, 3 whips left to the end of the month, and one of them I'm gonna be spent only 1 day on, and 2 gonna be those biggies, full coverage, and this one. So this is where you see my beginning of in September since March. So in a second, I guess you'll see with some more progress. So here we are a few days later. I haven't stopped fully to stitch it, but I just wanted to show you where I've done so far. So you see I went and finished all the way in here as close as possible to my framing, and the same was with these parts. So all of that done, and then I started working on those wiggles and sort of like a frame base, and it's gonna be on all three sides. But one line of this is 99 stitches, so this one, it hasn't even reached the fully bottom, but you can see kind of like over here, so that's like 100 stitches. That's almost like 100 stitches. And so that takes a little bit time because also it's with a silk thread, and I'm trying to stitch more carefully, but you can kind of see the sparkly happening still in here. Love it. And I'm gonna be continuing stitching for a little bit more. I want to put more into this piece before I stop again, and probably won't be pulling out until most likely like March if it keeps going like that. So here is what you see. I love this color, this turquoise color in here, and I was trying to, like, when I finished the thread, I tried to match the end of the previous thread with the start of the new one, so it wouldn't be like this and like very dark or something like that. So that's where I'm continuing, and I guess you'll see a little bit more progress in a bit more. And I spent 6 days working on my chatelaine, and let's see what the progress was like. Ta-da! Wow, you can see that it really grew. I've been just slowly going, and I went like all the way to the edge in here, and there was something like all the way to the tips that I wanted to finish, so I managed to squeeze in my needles in there, and it's already going in the corner here, and that's where I'm decided to stop, because look at the guys what it says. I have only 100,000 and a half stitch left to do in this, so that's that's quite of a number, right? Since I had what 110,000, so that's something, and it's only 9.15% done. So as you can see, I haven't done any of the specialty stitches in here, any of the beading, nothing like that. I was just working on those X's, and a lot of them were with the silk threads. And actually, like, these flower buds are just a couple colors in here. That one variegated silk, it comes all the way from those blue ones to the bright red ones, so that's majority, except like a blue, that's like it, you know, one thread, so it's very very variegated, and you can kind of stitch the whole plant. So what I was doing, I was trying to kind of concentrate like a brownish more on the bottoms, and then vary how I'm putting stitches in here. So you can see that depends how you cut the thread, like a brownish and greenish one, and then it kind of goes into bright red. So I was trying to coordinate with that layout, and of course that takes a little bit more time than just blindly stitching excess back and forth. So this is where I'm gonna leave it, maybe even for the rest of the year, because I really wanted to reach to that 100,000 stitches. So I'm very excited to do that. And I'm gonna set this aside to pick something different. And that's gonna be Town Drawing 5 by Chimera. And this is where I'm gonna start, like 2 floors I've done, especially with the window, and I got a lot of responses that really that window light brings it all out, sort of like a Thomas Kincaid painter of light, that you put a little bit light and it really pops. So there is another one. I'm curious how this whole area is gonna look, probably the same. So I probably will just continue work in this second sort of row, and I don't know how much I'm gonna do, but that's where I'm gonna start, spend several days, and those frames. I just finished filming how to make these kind of homemade frames. I just need to sit down at the computer and seriously do the editing for all of that. And this frame is a round one, but I put my Barbora on the square one. I want to try out the square ones to see how it works with that. So that's that. I'm gonna start on this. Also, I went in a local charity shop, was looking for like a picture frames in there, and I stumbled upon these. I mean, for 80 cents, those 3 packages of neon ray thread by Rainbow Gallery. Of course, it's not for regular stitching because it's like this little braid sort of thick thread, and then 3 colors of Weeks Dye Works for I think 70 cents, so it doesn't even seem used. Oh, there is a Gentle Arts, so that was cool. And then I got a couple old pillowcases like for 50 cents, and I'm gonna just take my chatelaine and just cover both sides to protect from a dust this way for now, instead of that plastic wrapper. So we'll see how that goes. So I have quite work cut out for me, the video editing and stitching on this, and we'll see how this is gonna look next when I get back to you. So I know it's what today is, 24th or 25th, and officially fall started, so happy fall. These are definitely fallish colors in here, and I can remember Queen and my favorite areas in London when I stitch this scenery. So I guess I'll see you in a blink of a second. And we have some finish. So I evened out with the top portion what I had, and we see again a couple lights in the windows here shining, and like the building is curving up to the side here. So this is where those windows are and curving up, and it's gonna be without the lights in there. So I still have a couple days left in this month and before Galleria, so I figured I might as well start a little bit more, because what I thought next year I might try to finish the row so it goes all the way like to about here. So that area would have to be finished, and you see I'm going like in 2 floors so to speak. So that's gonna be probably for my next year like plan. But right now I think I'm gonna just continue going the top portion in here, and I don't think I'm gonna reach Big Ben. We'll see, because I still have some things to do. I wanna finish putting together a couple more frames. I posted the video of how I make these homemade frames, and after watching Vicky's from Reading and Stitching, the hour calculations and stuff, I decided to check mine because I never paid attention to that, and I saw that how to make frames video had over 500 views, but my viewing hours, public viewing hours, went up only by 3 hours, and the video is not, 3 minutes long. So I don't know how YouTube is calculates the watching time in there. That just boggles me. Maybe you guys know and can let me know, because it should have went up way more than those 3 hours and all all of those views. So that's that, and I still need to figure out what I want to take to stitch in Galleria and what I want to buy. That's one of the big things to go in there besides stitching. So I'm hoping to meet with the locals there, and one of them is planning to bring her finished small chatelaine so I can see in live in person versus like through Zoom, and it's gonna be fun to see the same designers and store owners that are there, so that's gonna be cool. So it's a fall came to us, and it's gonna be kind of chilly, although in the daytime today was amazing day. It was nice and cool, and most important, it's not muggy. In this greater St. Louis area, the mugginess is what kills me. So not literally, but I don't like to sit outside because of the muggy air. But today was amazing. I worked some in the yard, and perfect day. So to finish off that perfect day, I think I'm gonna start stitching a bit more to make wave into the next year, because I don't think I'm gonna work on this for the rest of the year once I put this down. And I guess in a second you'll see how much I've done. Today is what, Wednesday, and I just received this parcel. Just cut out my address so you don't have to look at it, and it's a special order, and that's gonna be so exciting, because I was worrying that it would not arrive before Friday, because that's when we're planning to go to Needlework Galleria. And I was so happy that I managed to get it in time. And this is something special for the stitchers. Wow, look at that, in a nice bag and everything. Some of you might have seen, how is it open up? Ooh, let me see. And guess what? It says cross stitch. So it's a special things like that. I stumbled upon one of the cross stitch groups, and it's specifically for cross stitches in different sizes, and I'm so excited to get this so I can wear it during this year's Needlework Galleria and walk in these shoes. I haven't checked it out yet, see if they're very comfortable, but feels like it's nice and fairly soft, and this is what it looks like, the heel. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So we'll see if anybody notices in there, or maybe I'll find somebody that's also working in these special shoes. They had for different other items, that hobbies that you like, but of course I had to pick for cross stitch. So yay, I'm so excited. I managed to get it just in time for this, so it's a pair for me. And here you have it. This little section is done. I was hoping to get more bigger area done, but I was running out of time, so I decided, okay, this tower I'm not gonna continue, so I kind of stopped like with this area and try to finish up this. The around is just a pure white color, so that was going pretty fast once I finished the main buildings in here. So right now I have 15.3% done of this, and most likely I'm not gonna touch it again this year. So this is where I'm gonna leave and continue next year. I might consider going all the way to the end, like in this area, to do it next year. We'll see, because like you see, it's a double row, because I usually try to go rows by 5 with some parking and going a little bit in. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure out my stitching plans for the next year. But so far in the month of September, this is what I accomplished at the very end. And to wrap it up, the whole September, I think I did quite well. I did more stitching, I believe, than previous month. So the fall is kicking off well, and had to figure out what I wanted to do for the next 3 months, because as you know, every year now I'm trying to do my game 3 months to the finish line, where I finish either fully finish stitching some pieces, or like a rows or something like that. So that's what my next video most likely gonna be to record, or you'll see it right before this one. I haven't figured out the layout of the time zones for YouTube, but I'm gonna show you what I've decided to stitch in next 3 months. There might be some twitches and touching up with a few of the current whips that I was not planning to include in my main 6 ones, plus 4 big ones to continue each month. And at the end of this video here, I'll include some pictures that I took from Needlework Galleria 2022 that I just went this past weekend. It's already October, so I'm kind of running a bit later with this video because I wanted to include the Galleria's little pictures, and I even saw one a local lady brought by my request her finished chatelaine. So wanted to share you amazing looks of that, because live is always better than just looking at the picture. So that's that, and I was very excited. I had a lot of compliments on my new shoes that got in like literally night before I was going to Galleria, so that was great. I had to order online and wasn't sure when they're gonna get into my house being shipped. So like I said, September was very good to me in the stitchy wise, and let's hope it continues and I do great in October, November, and December in my game. And I hope you like this video by clicking thumbs up or subscribing, and yeah, so I don't know what else to say except hope you're feeling well, getting your time to do some stitching, and don't forget to leave a comment below about any of these whips, or if you already try to make stitchy frames on your own, or if you went in a Galleria, maybe I even saw you there. So till the next time, this is Jurgita with Magic on Craft saying bye. Ata.